So I wanted to share this and get the two healthy individuals on the show. I wanted to get their opinion. I want to play this video quick.
Since my confirmation,
Is that too loud?
No.
Okay.
our department has encouraged states to think differently and creatively about how to solve the many health issues facing Americans. One way is by not allowing taxpayer-funded benefits to be used to purchase unhealthy items like soda, candy, and other junk food. The number one purchase by SNAP recipients is sugary drinks.
Isn't that crazy?
I
the
believe
number
it.
one per I'm gonna let her finish, but that's bonkers.
SNAP is a supplemental nutrition program meant to provide health food benefits to low-income families to supplement their grocery budget so they can afford the nutritious food essential to health and well-being. That is the stated purpose of the SNAP program. The law states it, and President Trump's USDA plans to deliver on it alongside our partners at HHS. So today, I'm proud to sign 6 more waivers for Florida, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Colorado. This is in addition to the waivers we've already signed for Iowa, Indiana, and others across the country. I continue to encourage states to be laboratories of innovation, think through how you can promote healthy families and healthy communities. And because of our historic partnership, USDA and HHS, and the visionary leadership of the governors here with us today and of the states represented by the signings, we are doing something about it. These SNAP waivers are just one piece of the MAHA effort. We work so closely together to encourage voluntary commitments to remove artificial food dyes, among other things, from our food supply.
Voluntary for now.
And together we are crafting sensical dietary guidelines for Americans that prioritize whole, healthy, and nutritious food.
So, by the way, quietly RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard have probably been, and Rubio have been really good. I think any one of those three are probably better than any single nomination that Trump had in his first admin, although I might be a prisoner of the moment and I might not totally remember. You know, I wasn't following politics as closely back then. Shout out
Also,
to
we're only 6-7 months into it, you know. Like,
yeah.
Might have to wait to the end to do a postmortem on it.
Shout out Dingus Khan for joining as a member on YouTube. Thank you, bud.
Aww.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of this? I'll go to Melonie Mack first and then Hannah Claire.
I think this is so long overdue. Last year, I made some short form videos talking about the problem with, hey, why is it that people who are on food stamps and government benefits, because they don't make enough money, why are they fat?
People did not like that video.
I got so much backlash for that. It was insane. You wouldn't believe. And to me, it's just, this is a common sense thing that if you're poor, you shouldn't be fat. It makes no sense. Then you're not that poor if you can eat in excess. And people are like, well, junk food is cheaper. Well, you have to eat more of it. You're fat because you eat too much. It's quantity. Well, yes, healthy foods make that easier, but it's quantity of food. You could get fat on healthy food too if you ate a bunch of it. So whenever you factor in the fact that somebody is fat, that means they're eating in excess, regardless of what they're eating. Therefore, their bill is going to be higher and more expensive than somebody who is at a healthy weight. So this makes no sense at all that so much of our poor people are fat, and they need to, this is great. This is great. Don't let them buy this junk food crap. And yes, I'm all about helping people in
buy
need
it if
when
you
they
want,
need
but
it.
I don't want to pay for it.
Exactly.
Right?
I don't want to pay for it. Buy it with your own money, but I don't want to have to pay for it. So yes, incentivize people to try to work their way to get off of government assistance as well, because that also needs to be a thing. But yeah, it makes no sense. You got to really, if you're on food stamps and you're fat, well, it's time to reflect and say, I have a problem and I need to fix it.
JR says the soda ban from welfare is a huge W for RFK. Make obesity illegal. I mean, what do you think, Hannah Claire?
I think it would radically change our food economy if instead of letting people use essentially government money to pay for things that are mass produced, like soda and candy and chips, like stuff that we know isn't healthy for you, that are made by mega companies, if the money was redirected to be used specifically for produce and locally grown stuff and things that are healthier. I mean, if you were a company and you knew that you could get people's money by, I don't know, growing non-GMO strawberries or whatever. That would become a priority over mass producing bags of chips and cans of soda. I mean, it's a sort of simplified way to put it, but I just think it would be better for everyone if the consumer was required to choose healthier options, because I mean, like you said, they could pay for soda on their own, but the money that they're getting from the government doesn't go for it. And the companies that were making these things weren't saying, oh, well, we know that these are going to be WIC eligible or SNAP benefits or whatever. It would change what they were prioritizing in making, because ultimately they're just trying to bring in the dollars. They don't. I mean, there are very, very few companies that do care about people, but for the most part, the companies that are mass producing the soda, they don't care. They would rather you lose your teeth,
Well,
exactly.
There's that thing in Appalachia they talk about, like, I think it's called Mountain Dew mouth, because you like get all the cavities and stuff. I mean, I think one of the big hopes for me for the MAHA movement is the idea that we could have steps that basically work as preventative medicine. So instead of being like, oh, you're obese, now we have to make you lose weight, we say, hey, why don't we teach you how to eat healthy by giving you healthy options when you use your benefits, and then also make sure you don't have the negative and make sure you don't have the negative health outcomes of a lifetime of obesity. I remember talking to a doctor who was talking about, like, at one point fertility issues were bad because women who were obese were having a hard time getting pregnant, but now because obesity is starting at a really young age, the body is having other effects of that, and it's not necessarily fertility, it's just extremely high risk pregnancies because their bodies have been unhealthy since they were like 10.
Yeah, they're on bed rest in their early 30s.
And they have risks of preeclampsia. I mean, there are children born to obese mothers have higher rates of obesity themselves, as well as other negative health outcomes. Like, if you could make it so that it was harder to get fat in America, generations would benefit from that.
Well, there's a couple of things. SNAP isn't perfect. I think people should be able to buy warm meals on SNAP. The idea that you can't buy rotisserie chicken for your family on SNAP is absurd. It's super healthy.
Right. Yep.
So there are things that I think they should change, but just like in sales, you get what you incentivize.
Yep.
Like, if you incentivize these companies to put out healthy food because they care about it being SNAP approved, here's 20% of the nation's on SNAP, then they're going to make more healthy food. If you ban high fructose corn syrup from being SNAP or WIC eligible, they're going to replace it with cane sugar. Yeah. And like, you can really incentivize people. This is why capitalism's kind of a good thing. You can really incentivize people to make excellent choices by just doing that without regulating it. We're just saying, hey, look, if you're on food stamps or whatever, I don't think you're a bad person. A lot of people need help at a time now and again. It doesn't mean anything, or a lot of people need a little extra help. I think SNAP's for that, right? Mm-hmm. But like, let them get, rotisserie chicken, which goes a long way and it's relatively healthy unless it's from Costco. Look into that. Or let them get like, turkey or chicken cooked meals for their families on that, instead of, frozen dinners that have like 8,000 milligrams of sodium, right? Or like whatever other, nasty, terrible stuff's in there. I would rather, if my tax dollars were being spent to support somebody in a time of need, I would rather they got more of it and got healthy food, because that would cost me less in the long run. So now they're not on disability when they have other problems. And so like, people have to look at the long term. By the way, the guy joined as an Epic member on YouTube. Thank you so much. And Dingus Khan said, Astrocast for life. Love y'all. Astrocast is in fact the best Astrocast. Like, what do you think of the long terms of this? Wait, hello, rotisserie chicken is not super healthy. It's pumped full of chemicals. Well, that's why I said you have to look at where you're getting it from.
Like
for the Costco rotisserie chicken is like, look into it. It's
for the most part, it's healthy, and you're gonna get a lot better results eating rotisserie chicken than all of the other junk there. But I think I would just love to see, even if this incentivizes these grocery stores to make more, to sell more healthy food, because for those of us who do eat healthy, we have to home cook everything. Almost.
I know it's impossible to buy healthy, especially if you don't have a lot of time.
Right. So
can I bring up a random thing too? I wish that we would bring back home ec and like teaching.
I had home ec. Is that not a thing anymore?
No, my school had food science because home ec wasn't allowed because it was, gender esque. And
okay.
food science is interesting and like is an interesting that's a career you can go into.
Right.
But I think if we taught our nation's young people how to make basic healthy meals, it would probably change their lives because so many of them are growing up in families where it's like, food is more about convenience or rushing around. So you get the pre-produced foods, or you need the stuff that has a lot of preservatives, or you go out to dinner all the time. And like, I think our culture around food and health is very weird because we just treat it like if you talk about cooking, you're anti-feminist, but actually being able to prepare yourself. Look, I think it's a good class. And also what food science, which is what my high school had, because we weren't allowed to have home ec was extremely popular because you got an extra meal. Every guy who played sports.
That's exactly why I took it.
Yeah,
exactly
That's
why.
funny. I think everybody should know how to cook. Everybody. Because it does. I mean, it's an important life skill because otherwise, if you're just resorting to what you can get at restaurants or pre-cooked or what you can pop in the microwave, then you're really doing your body a huge disservice. And some meals are really easy to make. I do carnivore. So it's just like, okay, let me grill up some beef patties, put a slice of cheese on it, some sugar-free barbecue sauce. There you go. It's not hard when you're really,
What's been
if you're
working
keeping
for
it
me,
simple.
You know how I've been talking about like my weight loss journey. I did miss I had a goal for last Friday. I missed it.
You'll get it this Friday.
I know I will because I made an adjustment. I'm cutting back on. I'm back on, back able to walk a little bit more too, but. I'm also cutting back on the bubblers, even though they don't technically have a lot of calories. They have other crap in there that are probably not great for my metabolism. And I'm having a crazy stress headache right now, so I got to go get some like icy hot for my neck. But like,
Estrocast is stressing him out.
No, it's from the no caffeine. It's like day 2 of no caffeine or very little. I'll allow myself a cup of coffee because at least that's like natural caffeine. It's not like a energy drink.
And coffee has like antioxidants and stuff. Like there are
coffee's not bad for you. But like the energy drinks are what I'm cutting, not the coffee. And like I'm having a very negative. Like I was going to stream last night a video game. I'm going to stream tonight. Expedition 33. We are in the final throes.
Go.
I am deep. I am balls deep into the monolith. I spent 3 hours last night leveling up my secondary characters up to like level 43. So everyone's at like level 43.
Oh, so you've made some good progress.
Yeah. I'm like almost 45 hours into the game. And I'm just kind of, I didn't think it was very entertaining to stream like grinding. So I'm just like, I just wanted to grind for a few hours and then I'll probably grind for a few hours this afternoon and then I'll stream like actually back on. Because I'm right before you destroy the Paintress's heart. It's like, that's kind of where I'm at. That fight.
Okay.
So I'm getting close to the end. But anyway, I've been, one thing that's worked good for me is like stopping treating meals like an event. I talked about that before.
For sure.
So like now, like last week, Thursday and Friday, I'm like, I just grilled a steak, I ate a steak, and I got on with my day.